Welcome to our August 25th Zoom Satsang. And for our first topic, we have a publisher's desk. How to experience your innate divinity. The concept that sacredness resides within each human being is foreign to many individuals, as the dominant activities in their experience are base emotions such as anger and jealousy and a confused intellect. Clearly, there is a lot going on within us that is not of a divine nature. However, just as the intellect is of a higher state of mind than base emotions, there is a part of us that is even a higher state than the intellect. It is called many names such as intuition, superconsciousness, the soul, the Atma. And a question to you. What are the three aspects of man's mind? Gurudeva elsewhere refers to them as the three phases of the mind. Remember, we have the 5 states of mind and also the 3 phases of the mind. Thus, there are 3 aspects to our nature: physical, emotional, intellectual, yellow, or mental, and superconscious, or spiritual. This is a good question. What does man experience when the physical, emotional nature dominates? Gurudeva describes this in this way. When the outer or lower instinctive nature dominates, one is prone to anger, fear, greed, jealousy, hatred, and backbiting. Doesn't sound very good. What does man experience when the intellect dominates? When the intellect is prominent, arrogance and analytical thinking preside. What does man experience when the superconscious dominates? When the superconscious soul nature comes forth from the refined qualities, when the superconscious soul comes forth, the refined qualities are born: compassion, insight, modesty, and the others. The animal instincts of the young soul are strong. The intellect yet to be developed is non-existent to control these strong instinctive impulses. When the intellect is developed, the instinctive nature subsides. So we can see there the importance of developing the intellect is it is needed to control the instinctive nature. Strong intellect doesn't let us do certain things. However, we don't stop there. When the soul unfolds and overshadows the well-developed intellect, the mental harness is loosened and removed. So we don't want the intellect simply to be dominant. We want the intellect to be a useful tool of the superconscious. Superconscious is in charge. Intellectually accepting that divinity is within us is, of course, only the first step. we need to find a way to actually experience that divinity. The simplest way presents itself when we visit a temple. A sincere devotee can experience divinity in and around the temple's murtis, the consecrated images of God and gods. Sanskrit term for this holy vibration is sanidhya. Learning to experience a temple's sanidhya may take some time, especially if we have not been raised to be sensitive to the energy that radiates out from a sacred image or murti. Gurudeva described this process. The reality of the Mahadevas and their darshan, blessings, can be experienced by the devotee through his awakened ajna vision, or more often as the physical sight of the image in the sanctum, coupled with the inner knowing that he is there within the microcosm. This darshan can be felt by all devotees, becoming stronger and more defined as devotion is perfected. So that's an important point there. When our devotion isn't very deep, then our experience of the sanidhya, spiritual vibration from the murti, is not that deep, and as the devotion deepens, our experience of the sanidhya deepens. Here are 3 suggestions to help an individual become sensitive enough to experience the sanidhya radiating out from the murti. See if any of you remember this idea. What do you think the 3 suggestions are? Basic practices. Nothing esoteric. 3 simple suggestions about when you go to the temple. So the whole list has 10, and I chose 3 that I thought at the moment were the most important. 1, bring an offering for each shrine at which you worship. This can be a flower garland, or fruit. The act of giving in this simple way makes you receptive to blessings. So you want to give before you expect to receive. 2, pay particular attention at the high point of the puja during the arati, when a large lamp is waved before the deity and bells are rung loudly. The blessings of the deity are strongest at this time. 3, sit after puja for 5 minutes with the murti in view. Absorb the sanidhya emanating from the murti. Be like a sponge soaking up water. For this to work, you need to empty yourself of extraneous thoughts and focus only on the murti. Once you are able to consistently experience the sanidhya in the temple, it is natural to take up the next level of practice, which, as we all know, is to create a sacredness in your home shrine through performing each day a simple puja, such as to Lord Ganesha. Over a period of years, you can learn to invoke a stronger and stronger sanctity in the home shrine, which eventually is powerful enough to radiate out to the other rooms in the home. Experiencing divinity in the temple and then establishing it in the home shrine provide an excellent foundation for finding divinity within yourself. This can be done through 3 simple steps. What do you think the 3 steps are? How do we turn within? First step is to regulate your breathing, which is called pranayama. As we know, our basic breathing Technique is 9 counts in, hold 1, 9 counts out, hold 1. This will cause your thoughts to slow down. You will then experience greater alertness as your awareness becomes more subtle and refined. Then we have pratyahara, withdrawing energy into the spine. On the first in-breath, bring awareness into the left leg all the way to the toes, and on the out-breath, slowly withdraw the energy from that leg into the spine. Repeat with the right leg, left arm all the way to the fingertips, right arm, and finally the torso. This is a practice from the Master Course. And the third one. The third practice, which in Sanskrit is called Merudanda, is to feel the spiritual energy within the spine. Gurudeva says, the third step takes us deeper inside as we become dynamically aware in the spine. Feel the power within the spine, the powerhouse of energy that feeds out to the external nerves and muscles. Visualize the spine in your mind's eye. See it as a hollow yellow tube or channel through which white life energies flow. Feel it with your inner feeling. See it with your inner eyes. It is there, subtle and silent, yet totally intense. It is a simple, honest feeling. As you feel this hollow yellow spine filled with white energy, realize that you are more that energy than you are the physical body through which it flows, more the pure, clear, white energy than the emotions and the thought force. Identify yourself with this cosmic energy of Lord Shiva and begin to live your true spiritual heritage on this earth. As you dive deeper into this energy, you will find that this great power, your sense of awareness, and your willpower are all one and the same thing. That's a great meditation if you haven't thought about it in a deep way. How can energy and awareness and willpower be the same thing? Meditate on it and figure it out. Yogaswami expressed the same idea in one of his letters. You are not the body, you are not the mind, nor the intellect, nor the will. You are the Atma. The Atma is eternal. This is the conclusion at which great souls have arrived from their experience. Let this truth become well impressed on your mind. Reminds me of a story. It was my second visit to the Yogaswami Center in Colombo. First time we went there, they were just installing the Murti of Yogaswami, beautiful white marble. And then the second time, which I gave a talk the first time, second time I went there with another talk, and they had added a statement from Yogaswami up on the wall in Tamil script. And my talk started with this statement from Yogaswami's letter, you are not the body, the mind, the emotions, you are the Atma, which in Tamil is Atma. And I looked up at the wall, and that was the quote they had put on the wall. So it was kind of amazing, my talk and what went up on the wall were the same thing. I said, whoa, that's very interesting. Oh, we have a question. What is an easy practice for seeing divinity within other people? We all know this one. Once we are able to identify as an immortal soul and thus see divinity within ourselves, it becomes possible to see it within everyone we meet. One practice to accomplish this is to look deeply into the eyes of another person, Look beyond the personality, go deeper than his or her intellect, and see the pure life energy, which is God. This is described by the phrase, God is the life of your life. Very profound phrase to meditate on again. This practice does not need to stop with people, but can also include seeing the life energy in trees, birds, and animals as God. A verse from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad states, he who knows God as the life of life, the eye of the eye, the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind, he indeed comprehends fully the cause of all causes. Taking this one step deeper is to see yourself as the divine in all beings. In other words, you are not looking at another person, you are looking at yourself. This is, of course, God Shiva's point of view. God Shiva is everyone. So that perspective is also a perspective you can hold if you go deep enough within yourself. You are everyone. A state of universal or omnipresent consciousness called Satchit Ananda. When we are in this state, we know that we are all living beings, all of existence. Bragendra Agama tells us, pure consciousness taking form as knowledge and action is present in the soul everywhere and always, for the soul is universal in its unfettered state, free from patipasupasa. Free from anavakarma and maya, the fetters. Then, my statement, you've heard this one before, a japa mala traditionally consists of 108 beads strung on a cord. The beads can be compared to human beings and the cord to Satchit Ananda. There is only one cord, and that same cord passes through each bead, connects each bead. Each human being can look within through introspection or meditation. When this interviewing is done deeply enough, they can see the one thread of omnipresent consciousness that pervades everyone, indeed all life and form. Looking deeper, they see they are that thread. So that's just a simple way of looking at the idea previously expressed. Conclusion. Thus our search to experience the divine takes us step by step from being unaware of the divine to seeing the divine in a temple's murtis, in our home shrine, in ourselves, in others, and finally realizing that we are the divine within all that is. And we have a great quote from Yoga Swami here. You will find the attributes of the divine in man. If you look a little more closely, you will find that man is himself the divinity. It would not be an overstatement if I say that man is God. Great summary quote. And our second topic, continuing the series of 64 character qualities from a character building workbook. We're still in the C's here. Contentment is the 13th character quality. Cat's very interesting, looks very content at that moment. How would you define contentment? The workbook gives this definition. Contentment means being satisfied with the circumstances of one's life, relationships and possessions. I practice it by not wanting more or wishing my life was different. Its opposite is dissatisfaction. Okay, the last word in the... Okay, the slide hasn't been updated. Sorry. Gurudeva explained, the sadhana is to seek joy and serenity in life, remaining content with what one has, knows, is doing, and those with whom he associates. Bear your karma cheerfully, live within your situation contentedly. Maintaining joy and serenity in life means being content with your surroundings, be they meager or lavish. Be content with your money, be it a small amount or a large amount. Be content with your health. Bear up under ailments and be thankful that they are not worse than they are. Protect your health if it is good. It is a valuable treasure. Be content with your friends. Basically, contentment, santosha, is freedom from desire gained by redirecting the forces of desire and making a beautiful life within what one already has in life. Reflection. Take a moment to identify a few ways in which you could improve in contentment. And our third topic, as usual, quotes from Yoga Swami's words of our Master. Our Gurunathan made me to know myself by myself. He flows like a river. He shines as everything. What does that mean to you? The meaning I got from it was Yoga Swami's attainments were only possible because of his Guru's grace. Second quote. If you remain summa, idle, without working, the mind will become impure. But the summa of jnanis is different. What does that mean to you? What I got out of it was, if on your days off you simply take it easy and don't really accomplish anything, your consciousness will drop. However, that doesn't happen to a jnani if he takes it easy for a day. Somehow what he's doing on the inside keeps his consciousness high no matter what he's doing on the outside. And the other idea is, this gives a reason Yoga Swami often stressed, do your work, go do your work. It's a very frequent statement he made to his devotees, because that's what keeps the consciousness high, unless you're a jnani. Om Namah Shivaya.